Hello, good morning. Grab your cup of tea or coffee, something to drink. Let's talk true crime in the morning. We're going to be covering a really tragic case today, but it seems like there's been some movement in this case of Lizbeth Medina, a 16-year-old girl out of ETNA, Texas, who was found brutally killed in her apartment, the Cottonwood Apartments, in her bathtub, unfortunately, by her mother. What a sad situation. Seems always so senseless. And it appears that within the last 24 hours, they have actually arrested a suspect in connection to this case. So let's pray this is the guy. It's looking like it probably is, as far as what they caught on camera. And pretty crazy. The guy is actually, and he's an illegal immigrant. So just, adding to that ongoing issue of open borders. And unfortunately, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of this because there are a lot of bad people coming over here. And not to say that everyone that is bad. No, I'm not saying that at all. I have Mexican heritage. I'm half, white on my mom's side, half Mexican on my dad's side. So it's not anything against immigration. It's just, this is a really sad situation when people are coming over here that have no concern for life, no respect for life, and they just take it on a whim. Like this 16-year-old girl, Lizbeth, a beautiful, beautiful girl, meant so much to her loved ones, and her mother is just absolutely just in despair. I can't even imagine what she's going through. So let's get right into this. If you're new here, welcome. Please think about hitting that subscribe button to become part of the tribe. If you do love the vibe here, we would love to have you. If you're returning, welcome back. I love you. You are the wind beneath my wings and my sails, you guys. Okay, so here, let's see. That's fine. Here's an image of beautiful. What's going on? We've got ads going. What on earth? Oh, okay. Sorry, I've got an ad going over here. I don't know why. Okay, that's kind of weird. Let me just go back on that real quick. All right, so let's just take a look first at the article, and then we're going to get into who this person is that they arrested in connection to her death. Okay, so seems like they acted pretty quickly here. Good job on law enforcement. They seem to catch the perp on surveillance, and so whatever good police work led them pretty quickly to this suspect. And it's seeming like if the guy that they got on camera is the same person, then it's probably him. So let's pray for her family that she can get justice. It seems so senseless. Like it just blows my mind how people are capable of committing these kinds of atrocities, like without even blinking, without even a second thought. You can rip this beautiful girl away from her family and her friends and everyone that loved her. So let's see, did I get an article up? Not yet. I guess we can look at this one first. All right, so here's an article from Fox News. God, they just bombard you with ads. You can't even see anything. I don't want to look at Biden. Sorry, but honestly, it's like, thank you so much, Miss Anonymous. I love you. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. Wonderful mod for anyone who's watching. So intelligent, helpful, intuitive, and wonderful in every way. Okay, so Texas police have apprehended a suspect in the murder of 16-year-old Lizbeth Medina, who was found dead in her apartment on December 5th. The EDNA Police Department on Sunday announced the arrest of Rafael Govea Romero, an undocumented male whom officials believe is the person responsible for the death of Lizbeth Medina in Schulenburg. EDNA Police Department and Texas Rangers immediately traveled to Schulenburg, where Romero was placed under arrest for capital murder and transported to Jackson County Jail, the department said in a Sunday morning press release. Although Romero is apprehended, we recognize Lizbeth's family and friends are grieving and still need support from the community. The citizens of EDNA can now sleep in peace. Well, we got one off the streets. Makes me wonder how many other potential deaths that this person could be connected to. And it really reminds me of Rachel Morin, way over there on the other side of the country. Her killer is still out there on the loose. And they were speculating that this person could also be Hispanic. They could maybe be an immigrant as well. It just makes you wonder, like, how many people has this person gone around and victimized before they got caught? Because it's hard to say that, they've all got to start somewhere, right? You've got to start somewhere in your career of criminality. So likely this guy he very seasoned in, maybe breaking and entering. Maybe he's a stalker, who knows? So it's hard to say. Although I intuitively feel I'm getting like a prowler energy. Look at his face, the smug grin on your face. Better wipe that grin off your face. When asked whether she knows or recognizes the suspect, Lizbeth's mother, Jacqueline Medina, told Fox News Digital, not at all. She is waiting for more information from police. So originally, I think they had been saying they were sure that this person that did this, before they knew who this guy was somebody that Lizbeth knew. So it turns out that is not the case. And a disturbing yet eye-opening interrogation last night about a very young 15-year-old killer, a psychopath. And I will just say that it really reminded me a lot of the Idaho case and Brian Koberger. And so we're going to get into that in another video. But these people are out here. They do be walking around. They have a vendetta against society for whatever reason. And they think that they are allowed to just do whatever they want. They prowl, they break into people's homes, they get used to this type of behavior, so likely this guy is pretty seasoned. At least that's how I feel. You don't just break in and kill some girl at random. Well, maybe it was at random. Maybe it was the easiest place to get into. Maybe he had been watching her. Who knows? But to me, it just seems like this is probably not the guy's first rodeo. This is probably not his first time doing something like this. Mother is just perplexed. I don't understand. Why? How could someone do something so horrible? Right? But the Grim Reaper comes in many different forms. Whoa, the lights just went off. That was crazy. I'm pretty sure my cat did that, but still. Maybe Lizbeth is here. Felt very drawn to her story. I was going to do tarot, do some mediumship on it, but it seems that they've already arrested somebody. So it wasn't necessary. And just like the serial killer in California, I had wanted to cover that one as well, but due to good police work, they caught that person really quick. So like I said, let's just pray this is the person, but it seems like it is. He looks exactly like the guy from the photos with the beard, the ugly beard. Sorry. And this Reebok sweater, like, could you be any more brazen? Like, these people piss me off. The EDNA Police Department on Sunday announced the arrest of Rafael Govea Romero. Like, you better hope I'm not I don't end up in prison one day and I'm going to be around all these fools, because let me tell you, if I ain't never getting out, these guys would have hell to pay if I was around. I just can't stand them. I can't stand to look at the faces. Like, allegedly this guy did this. Because it's horrible. And if you understand grief and grief, like it's one thing when your loved one is taken out in an accidental way, or if you expect it, but when they are literally brutally killed. It's just at the hands of a psychopath. It is the most sad and tragic thing you could possibly imagine. It just boils my blood. Lizbeth's murder came as a shock to the EDNA community last week as authorities hunted the teenager's suspected killer. Cleo, I'm sorry, but honestly, you give me stress when you're doing this. Like, you need to get down. Cat just thinks that the live streams are for her, and that's fine. I love her. I'm not mean to my cat. All right, so Texas suspect in custody after shooting spree that left 6 dead, 3 injured. Oh, wait, that's a different story. Jacqueline Medina told Fox News Digital last week that she came home on Tuesday evening to find Lizbeth dead in the bathtub of their residence at the Cottonwood Apartments after she had not seen or heard from the 16-year-old that afternoon. Oh, God, I can't even imagine. So sad. Such a pretty girl. Such a pretty girl. So sad. The sad part is the mom had specified that she didn't know. She didn't go in the bathroom right away, so she actually didn't know right away if she didn't know her daughter was in there, and that is so horrible. She said she wishes she would have gone in the bathroom because she probably would have found her, but she didn't. So I decided to go look for her, and I kept calling her phone nonstop, and it would take me straight to voicemail. I called a bunch of people, and nobody knew anything. It wasn't until I walked into the restroom that I was on the phone with my friend asking him to come help me look for her is when I saw her foot, and it was in the bathtub. And so I opened the curtains. There she was. Oh my God, how sad. And her phone was off. So that does also raise the question of like, did the perpetrator turn her phone off during the attack? She did have her whole life ahead of her. She's so young, 16. I mean, your life has barely started. Not ever going to get a chance to do all those things that a lot of us take for granted. Like never going to get married, never going to graduate high school, never going to, experience the fun of being in her 20s, of being free and being on her own. Like, Medina left for work around 6 a.m. on Tuesday. She said she woke her daughter up before she left because she had to get ready for cheer practice. The last anyone heard from Lizbeth was around 7:30 a.m. Tuesday, Medina said. And that after that, friends and family assumed her phone must have died. So it's almost like I'm feeling this person. Yeah, if I found out who did it, you better believe I would be going to jail for the rest of my life. Unquestionably. But, if law enforcement does what they're supposed to do, hopefully they can apprehend these people quickly and get them off the streets so that they don't do this shit again. Because, like I said, just it's unimaginable and it just breaks your heart. I understand grief. My family is grieving, but like this, in this sense of the manner in which this young lady was taken from us, her family, her mother, it's despicable. Look how pretty she is. I just feel like he was watching and waiting for her mom to go to work. And maybe she was someone who posted on social media. The kids nowadays, way too much social media exposure. Like, you guys, if anyone's watching this that is young, be careful out there. Be so careful because there are so many monsters out there and they look like people. They look like men. They're just normal looking people and you would never guess. I just have a feeling he was watching her, and when her mom left, he probably busted in there. Maybe she was in the shower already. That's kind of a horrible thought. He might have busted in while she was in the shower or taking a bath and saw his opportune moment. The Monday prior, Lizbeth had been sick from school, so friends did not find it unusual that she did not show up to school again on Tuesday. Maybe he had been watching her as well and knew that she was already home on Monday. Medina finished work on Tuesday afternoon to attend a Christmas parade that Lizbeth was supposed to be in, but she did not see her daughter at the parade. Oh God, this is going to make me cry. And began asking friends and family to help locate her. Oh, so sad. That is when she returned to her apartment and found Lizbeth dead in the bathtub. I'm sorry, y'all, but some of these cases be making me real emotional. Imagine you're there at a parade hoping to see your daughter, just expecting to see your daughter. In your mind, in a million years, you wouldn't expect that the reason why she wasn't there was because she was dead in your home. Probably never even left for the day. So it breaks my heart. Look at that. Certificate of completion, acrylic nail course. So she got her certificate of completion for doing nails. She wanted to be a nail tech, I guess. At least at the point where she was at in life. Such a beautiful and bright girl. I wonder if he pounced on her in the bathtub or in the shower. It's just like these animals. I hope every last one of these people, because of technology, get caught and taken off the street. And I hope that police are able to solve these crimes a lot faster. Maybe even like through analytical data and algorithms, they can start detecting patterns a lot sooner. So that might have something to do with, we might not realize what kind of technology they're using behind the scenes, right? To help them solve these crimes a lot faster. They do actually have algorithms that detect similarities in cases. So it's a lot easier to detect a serial killer. Yeah, this is really makes the most sense. I mean, he waited for the mom to leave. He busted in while she was probably in the shower or the bath. Vulnerable, probably had her music playing. He could probably hear the shower going. And imagine the surprise. You would have not been expecting that. Completely caught her off guard. Terrible. She and her daughter were living in the apartment complex temporarily after Medina moved from Nebraska to Texas for her job in renewable energy. She and Lizbeth were the only two people who had keys to the apartment, she said. I wonder how he got in. It's kind of it's extremely brazen to just walk right into someone's apartments, you know, without even, like, there are people around. It's in the morning. There's probably people coming and going to work. You know, was the door left open or something like that? If not, he must have pretty easily just got himself right in the window. So we're talking a criminal here that has absolutely no qualms about sneaking and breaking and entering, but we don't really know. Maybe the door was open, which seems like a terrible idea. I never leave my door open because I just don't trust people that much. And being in the true crime community and hearing these stories every single day, it's painful to realize that these things are happening on a daily basis in our world, and we have to be careful out there. We have to be safe. I don't really mind being a lone wolf as much because I feel like in a way it's how I can preserve my safety. They say we are social creatures. Yes, it's true. But at the same time, the way that our society now is, it's a different society than it used to be. There are so many criminals. There's so many horrible people out there amongst us that we just really need to protect ourselves. You know, even when Brian Koberger targeted the Idaho 4, allegedly, I truly believe that it was because he knew that they were going to be easy targets. He watched them. He tracked their patterns. He knew that they were going to be going to bed or asleep, inebriated, unable to fight back. You know, and these sickos, they plan this. They do. They're predators. I just watched, like I said last night, I just watched this whole interrogation. It was like 2 hours long. You know, and this kid is talking all about how he had a horrible life, and he eventually just, you know, he was always preoccupied with death and killing, and eventually he just succumbed to his urges and he became who he felt he was meant to be. And he would just break into people's homes, and he would break into his girlfriend's home and, you know, tried to say, oh, was it just a romantic gesture? No, those are the beginning stages of like a full-blown stalker. Right? So these guys are very premeditated, very planned. You know, sometimes it's not. Sometimes there are crimes of opportunity. Maybe they have a little bit of foreknowledge about the person. Maybe they've been stalking them on social media and stuff like that. But we don't really know about this one yet, if he knew of her or if this was just kind of a crime of opportunity. It happened on the 5th of December is when her mom found her passed away in her bathtub. And it wasn't until I think the afternoon or the evening that they finally found her because her mom had been expecting her to be in a parade. As the cheerleader that she was supposed to be in a parade that day. So her mom went to the parade and she wasn't there. So her mom started to frantically look for her. She enlisted her friend to help her look, and she opened the bathroom door and saw her daughter's foot hanging out of the bathtub or in the bathtub. And she opened the shower curtain, and there her daughter was dead in the bathtub. Oh God, your whole world would just fall out from under you. Like, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional with this one. I've got a bunch of other cases I'm going to be covering. We're going to be doing the case of Katie Ferguson later and comparing that one to, the Gabby Petito case because it definitely rings very similar. And as you guys know, I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. And so there's a special place in my heart for all these cases, really. But especially the ones like with Katie Ferguson traveling across country with her boyfriend, abusive lover, and never came home, just like Gabby Petito, and they still haven't found her yet. They have very bad feelings about it, and so do I. So I'm going to be covering that one later. And we're going to try to be doing some true crime every day. Because I do believe these stories, the victims and their families, they deserve for their stories to be out there. They deserve to be remembered. And I think that there's something that we can all learn as a community through these horrible stories, through these tragedies. There is a lot that we can learn. Yes, I heard about the case of Katie Ferguson on, I think it was JLR's channel. And now that I searched it, I was doing a little bit of research into it. There isn't a whole lot, but I think her case deserves some attention. And I've been feeling potential like spirit energy coming in from her. So I think that I will attempt to do some trance mediumship. We'll probably do some true crime tarot about that one. And I think we'll do that one later today. I've got my thumbnail ready to go and everything, which is the hardest part, making your thumbnails. All right, so Romero, the suspect, was arrested a day after EDNA police shared security camera footage of a person of interest in the case. Medina previously described her daughter as an amazing, good girl. She was very mature and cared deeply for her friends and family. You can see it when you look at her. Like, when you look into her eyes, I get this like old soul energy from her. I feel her coming through, actually. I feel like that's why I'm getting emotional. Sometimes when the spirits are very close to you as a medium, you do feel you start feeling the emotions associated with their passing, the family members and maybe even her own soul. Like sometimes the departure it's sad. It takes them a little while to kind of adjust to being on the other side. And of course, even when you're passed on, you feel like this sense of you know that your loved ones are in so much pain, and so their spirits are so close to us, the families. Like the spirits of your loved ones stay so close to you when they pass on because they know what you're going through and they feel your pain. And although she is free and liberated from any pain or suffering that she may have been experiencing in her life, her poor daughter, her poor mother, is still going to have to live with this grief and process it. And I have a feeling this is going to hit the community around them pretty hard. It's terrifying. And it just shatters you to the core because it makes you realize, like, are we not safe? Are we not safe anywhere? Not even in our own home when we're taking a shower or a bath, and I'm not trying to project fear, but that's why we have to be so cautious and we need to be so alert and so aware at all times. Do not be sharing your location. Keep your location, actually share your location with somebody that you trust. Like I have my location always on with my sister. So she always knows where I'm at and what I'm doing. She'll call me up and be like, "Hey, are you at the Goodwill right now?" And I'm like, "Girl, you bust me." But we have to take so many precautions nowadays to keep ourselves safe because we're just seeing stories like this more and more. But I feel her spirit. I do. really strong energy, this one. Some spirits have such strong energy. They come through they come through pretty intensely. I feel her soul is a very strong spirit. And, I think sometimes with these really strong spirits, like they work their magic from the other side and help their perpetrator to get caught because, it would make your soul a bit angry. Like, okay, you took me out, and maybe that was the hand of the Grim Reaper working for whatever reason. Maybe it was destiny, maybe it was time, her time, obviously. But at the same time, I know if I was probably a soul passed on, I would be like, okay, we're gonna work magic from the other side and we're gonna get this fucking person caught. So they don't go out there and hurt anybody else, because that's really what it's all about. Taking this person off the fucking street so they don't hurt anyone else. Excuse my language. Getting all feisty, all passionate. Maybe that's her energy coming through. A little sassy. I just want everyone to know that she was an amazing child, Medina said. She wasn't a normal teenager getting in trouble for doing crazy stuff. She was very mature for her age. She was a caring and loving person who, as far as I know, and from the messages I received, she changed a lot of people's lives, and she will continue to. I just want everybody to remember her that way, not the way she was taken from me. The Medina family has created a GoFundMe for their efforts to find Liz's suspected killer, titled Justice for Lizbeth Medina. Hit hashtag in the regular comment section, please. Hashtag justice for Lizbeth Medina. Okay. And if anyone has any information, please contact the law enforcement of ETNA, Texas. So let's see. Maybe we watch a couple of videos, I was thinking. Let's see if it loads.
Well, good evening to you. I'm Caroline Collins. Welcome to the First 15. Tonight, the mother of a murdered 16-year-old from EDNA attends a football game where her daughter is honored. EDNA is a small town of about 6,000 and is about 100 miles southwest of Houston. The football game is happening at Cy-Fair Stadium. That's where we find Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live tonight. Randy.
Yeah, Caroline. Now, when we talked to Lizbeth Medina's mother, Jackie, she was literally being held up by her sister. Jackie was the one who found her daughter's body in the bathtub in an apartment they shared.
I'm feeling terrible, tore up.
I didn't realize she had a sister.
I just can't describe the feeling right now.
How can anyone comprehend
they
what
look
the
so
last
much
2
alike.
days have been like for Jackie
She looks
Medina?
a lot like her
She
mom.
and her daughter Elizabeth moved from Nebraska to EDNA a year ago.
She was basically my friend. We grew up together. I had her when I was only 16.
The popular 16-year-old became JV cheerleader in the town of 6,000, which is about 100 miles south of Houston. Jackie says she talked to Elizabeth Tuesday morning and expected to see her that night at a Christmas parade. Elizabeth was a no-show. Jackie was making phone calls from her home when she says she discovered her daughter's body in the bathtub.
Nobody ever wants to see their child in a bathtub the way I found her. Nobody. The curtains were closed, so I didn't see her, but when I opened those curtains,
This just doesn't seem real.
I just want justice for my baby.
Jackie says she only attended Thursday night's game to see the EDNA Cowboys and cheerleaders honor her daughter.
It makes me feel proud and amazed of just seeing how many people loved her.
Jackie says she wants to squash all the swirling rumors. This is what she says she knows for a fact.
Lizbeth knew the person because there was no signs of a forced entry.
Now, although there's been no autopsy results yet, and the police are calling this a capital murder investigation.
I had the door
Anyone
open or
with
something.
information should call EDNA
Crazy.
Police or the Texas Rangers. Reporting live from Cyprus, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Okay, so Oops. Okay, so that's gonna wrap it up for now. I just really wanted to cover this case, and when I had, I was gonna cover it thinking that they hadn't caught anybody yet, but I saw today when I looked that they did have that suspect apprehended. Okay, so let's just take a moment of silence for Lizbeth Medina and her family. They're grieving right now, and God, I'm getting so emotional, and I apologize for that. But let's just take a moment with Lizbeth. Thanks for whoever just left, right? As I literally said, let's take a moment for Lizbeth. Like, honestly, let's take a moment for Lizbeth. Just one moment of silence. Let's just say a quick prayer for Elizabeth and her family. Holy Spirit, we ask that you please bring peace to the family of Lizbeth and that you hold her forever in your arms, in your heavenly embrace. And we ask that you please bring justice to Lizbeth and her family. And we ask that you also please help her story to save anyone else that could be in a similar situation. Lord, please, we ask that you keep us all, your children, protected and safe. Amen. So I love you guys so much. Even though this is such a sad story, I'm wishing you guys all happy holidays, and hug your loved ones a little extra tight. Give them all your love. Tell the people you love that you love them. And you can never express it too much, right? You can never express your love for the ones that you care for enough in this life. And we really don't ever know when it's going to be our last moment here. So cherish every moment that you have on this earth. Make the best of what you've got. Find gratitude as a way to transmute negative energy, negative emotions, toxic emotions. And take care of yourselves. Okay. Stay safe out there. Protect yourself. Protect your loved ones. Okay. Double check the locks on your doors. Double check. Just remember, share your location with someone that you love so they know where you are at all times. And try not to share your location out in public. Stop sharing where you're at on social media, you guys. Stop doing that. We don't know if she did that or not. And it's not ever the victim's fault in any kind of way. That is not what I mean when I say that. What I mean is be smart. Because there are predators lurking out there. And what we think we're doing for attention, there are sickos exploiting that. Exploiting social media, exploiting our vulnerability and our sometimes naivety. Okay. I love you guys. I'll be back later with we'll probably go live later. Either that or I'm going to do a pre-recorded session and then premiere it. I don't know yet. So probably going to do live. Shut your location off on your cell phone. Do not post where you're at on social media unless it's long after. Try not to let people know exactly where you live, kind of things like that. Even though it's pretty easy, unfortunately, to find out that kind of information nowadays. So I had some guy creepily tell me that at the park one day, like, oh yeah, I can find out where anybody lives at any given time and their business and what they own. Like, oh, that's creepy. I wonder how many other people know about that out there. I'm definitely far from a hacker or a techno genius. I do my best, but so sad. Rest in paradise, Lizbeth Medina. I pray to God that this guy that they have apprehended is the guilty party so that way justice can be served, and stop letting all these illegals in here, because there are people coming in here that have no fucking regard for our laws, for how things work in this country, or for human life in general. We've got prisoners, criminals, all kinds of people coming over here. And look what they're doing. They're snatching our loved ones away from us. Committing crimes, don't give a F. Hey, free open borders. Anyone come on in. killers, anyone. You're all welcome. Really? It's a mess. But that's for another topic. It's another subject. All right. So that's it for now. I love you guys. Till next time. I'm the Spiritual Genie. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Please subscribe if you love my vibe and want to become part of the tribe. Hit that bell notification so that way every time I'm uploading, you will be notified. Yes, we can all say thank you to President Biden for the open border situation. Thank you. Thanks. Till next time, I love you guys so much. You're all the best.